Marcus Freeman had a plan. Let's talk some Notre Dame recruiting. Deuce Knight flipped from Notre Dame to Auburn on October 2nd. Less than 2 weeks later, Notre Dame has themselves a quarterback. The Irish flipped Blake Hebert yesterday from Clemson. I got Mike Singer on this video from blueandgold.com, and we're going to find out how it all went down and what's next for Notre Dame recruiting. But first, guys, do me a favor. Hit subscribe. Exciting times for Irish recruiting. Jump on board and hit subscribe to the On3 Recruits channel. All right, let's bring on Mike Singer from blueandgold.com. Now, Mike, 2 weeks ago, Deuce Knight was a Notre Dame quarterback commitment, and a lot has changed since then. Deuce Knight flips to Auburn, and then last night, Blake Herbert flips from Clemson. How did it all go down so quickly since that Deuce Knight decommit?
So when Deuce Knight starts taking all those Auburn visits, the Notre Dame staff is very aware of, all right, this kid might end up going elsewhere, despite maybe him telling them, hey, I'm going to stick Notre Dame. I mean, you know, these coaches weren't born yesterday. So they had different guys in mind for who they would flip or at least go after. And Blake Hebert, he's originally from Canada, playing his ball right now at Brunswick School in Connecticut. That was their guy. I even had a source tell me that, like, before Deuce Knight committed, Hebert was the guy at the top of their board in the 2025 class. He committed to Clemson, though, very early on. I mean, that was June 2023. Deuce wouldn't commit to the Irish for 3 months. So when Deuce goes, who do they want to turn to? Their original top guy in the 2025 class, from what sources tell me. So that was Blake Hebert. So he got in contact, or the two parties got in contact, I should say, like pretty much right around the time Deuce Knight announced his flip to Auburn. Now, maybe there was a little bit of back channeling or whatever the case may be before that. I know Notre Dame kind of zeroed in on Hebert, but from what I was told, a source close to Hebert, like when Deuce decommitted, that's pretty much the same time that Notre Dame went full on trying to flip the Clemson quarterback, and it ended up being a pretty simple flip at the end of it. I know. Like, Hebert loved Clemson and all of that for sure, Josh. But he has two teammates committed to Notre Dame. Brunswick School is very pro Notre Dame. I think he just kind of organically grew a love for Notre Dame for the past 10 months or so, actually.
Well, that's great. So talk to Notre Dame fans. What does Hebert bring to this quarterback room?
Yeah, he was a fascinating quarterback in that, you watch Riley Leonard and what he is doing right now on the field as a dual threat guy, someone who, can deliver from the pocket, but also do things with his legs as like a power runner. That's similar to Hebert. I was told Hebert is just about 6'3", 225 pounds. That's pretty big quarterback. You watch his midseason senior tape, he's got a play where he's run like a 75, 80-yard touchdown run. He delivers well down the field. He's a modern-day quarterback in that he can deliver from the pocket, and he can make you miss when he gets outside of it. He's not like your traditional dual-threat guy where you're thinking Lamar Jackson or something back there, Josh, right. But he is a power runner. You can do designed runs with him. He's going to extend plays for you. Hebert's a really nice pickup. He ranks as the number 30 overall quarterback per the On3 industry ranking. Man, there's got to be 29 really good quarterbacks ahead of him because Blake Hebert looks really good on film, Josh.
Yeah, well, the rankings are not final yet. We'll have a couple more tweaks to them as we go along. Now, let's stick with the flip content. Notre Dame also added a major offensive lineman in Cameron Heron. He's a flip from Iowa. He was on campus for an official visit to watch that win over Stanford. How big of a get is this on the offensive line?
A really good get. This is a long one, but I'll try to make this quick to put it in perspective. Notre Dame has 3 commits on the offensive line. They were pretty happy with that, but Heron is someone who just, as he continued to impress in his early senior film, Notre Dame was like, we have to go get him. I mean, the best in-state offensive lineman. And he is a stud. He is built like a tank. He's 275 pounds, and he looks like he's got a six-pack. Cameron Heron was just way too good for Notre Dame not to take, so they went ahead and flipped them from Iowa. Grew up, lots of Notre Dame fans in his family, so when Notre Dame offered him, it was pretty much a foregone conclusion that they were going to flip him. But it's a really nice get in someone who Charles Power is higher on than the rest of the industry.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Let's wrap up this segment with more flip targets that Notre Dame fans need to keep an eye on. Who are you watching?
There's definitely a few. Notre Dame always likes to cook late in the cycle with some flips. They have 3 receivers committed. They're going after 2 more, and I feel like they're going to get one of them. Jalen Cooper, I know you've talked about him a lot on your show, Josh, committed to SMU, another one who Charles Power likes a lot more than the rest of the recruiting industry as his number 103 overall player in the country. He was just on campus this past weekend for the Stanford game for an official visit. I think Notre Dame has a slight edge. Cooper is someone that one way or another, Josh, you're going to be talking about him soon because he's making a decision in the next 5 or 6 days or so between sticking with SMU or flipping to Notre Dame. And then Derek Meadows. Notre Dame's still working on the LSU wide receiver commit. I know Steve Wiltfong's talked about that. We'll see if Notre Dame's able to get him on campus for a game. If they do, it's game on. If not, it's going to be a tough flip for the Irish.
All right. Well, Notre Dame fans, exciting week of flips. Talk to Mike and I. How are we feeling about your new quarterback? And also, do you think Derek Meadows could be next? Let us know. Comment section below.